I found a student ID in the break room of Emily's office. I asked her whose it was. She gently put the student ID away. The new intern accidentally left it behind. She looked completely unconcerned. Suddenly, I felt exhausted. Emily, let's break up. She stared at me with wide eyes. In disbelief. Divorce. You're going to divorce me over such a trivial matter. I wasn't someone who used to be so particular. Company employees work late too often. It's normal to take a nap in the boss's break room, but just 3 days ago, I had just found the student ID in the passenger seat. Now the two of them have moved from the car to the break room. Most importantly, Emily is especially cleanliness obsessed. I used to work late at the office until 5 in the morning. I was incredibly tired. I wanted to go sleep in her break room for a bit, but she just kicked me out. David, I said I don't like others invading my personal space. I've said it so many times. Why do you still not listen? Do you not care about my feelings at all? It seems that way now. It's not that I don't care about her, but she has never had me in her heart. She is willing to lower her standards again and again for the one she loves. We've been married for 7 years. I didn't expect there would still be problems. I can't believe I'm not too surprised. In these 7 years, she has risen from an intern to the position of Emily. I went from department manager to unemployed. The disparity in status makes her see me like everyone else. She thinks I'm living off others, but it's one thing if outsiders don't understand. How could she forget? I resigned just to help her get promoted. All her achievements over the years were all earned by me using my connections. Without me, who in New York would know her? People come and go outside the office. I don't want to argue with her. I placed the soup I had stewed on the table. Let her drink it while it's hot. Then I got up and left. 3 years ago, she had a miscarriage due to exhaustion. Since then, I've made her nourishing soup every day. To do it better, I even went to learn cooking specifically. Today my car is being serviced. When I got downstairs and wanted to hail a taxi, I realized I had forgotten my phone in her office. But I didn't expect to see such a scene. A young man who looked just barely an adult was feeding Emily soup. Emily had her eyes closed. Her face was a bit flushed. His leg was gently brushing against the sofa. My heart instantly sank. At that moment, there were 2 knocks on the door. The 2 people in the office were startled awake. Emily's expression immediately darkened. She said coldly, "Didn't I say not to disturb me?" The other party awkwardly replied, "Sorry, I forgot to take my phone." I pretended not to see the awkward posture of the two. I went straight in to grab my phone. Emily was still frozen there, waiting for her to react. I had already reached the door. "David, things are not as you see them." She hurriedly stood up from the sofa. "Explain it to me." I shook my head and said, "It's okay." She had just relaxed. That's when I said the next part. "I will send you the divorce agreement later. If there are any issues, you can consult legal first. Come back to sign it tonight." "Okay, I will return on time." Her voice suddenly stopped. "What did you just say?" "Divorce. You want to divorce me?" I nodded. "Emily, let's break up." Just like when I proposed to her back then, I brought up divorce quite formally. Emily was provoked by my attitude, questioning me. "Why do you suddenly want a divorce? You said yourself you wanted to spend your life with me. It's only been 7 years. You can't stand it." "Emily, did I make you uncomfortable in any way? Or do you have some objections?" She turned and shot a glance at the young man. Her expression darkened further. It was clearly a misunderstanding. "Why do you insist on holding on to this? David, can you have a bit of manly spirit?" The young boy finally regained his composure. He immediately stood up straight. "Brother David, I'm sorry. I just joined the company. I'm not very familiar with a lot of things, but I don't want you and Emily to keep arguing because of me." He cautiously glanced at me. "Speak. You haven't taken any action all along. You should understand that Emily's job isn't easy." I was taken aback for a moment. I couldn't help but laugh. "Emily, do you also think I'm living off others?" She remained silent. It was as if she tacitly agreed. "I'm so disappointed in you. Let others have the food instead. I'd rather eat steamed buns." I waited at home until midnight. Emily still hasn't come back. I called her 3 times. She didn't answer once. Just when I was about to give up, the 4th call finally went through. "Emily, stop drinking. Let go of me. I'm determined to drink tonight. I'm not going back. Let's see how he gets out of this marriage. Emily, don't lose yourself over a man. Look at me more." Lily suddenly stopped talking. "Michael, those younger don't call me sister. They have quite a few thoughts. Can you give me this opportunity, sister? I don't want to hear their voices chatting anymore." I immediately called a friend. "Help me arrange it. I'm going racing tonight." I ran on the track all night. I finally regained the feeling. My speed keeps increasing. Even my friends were amazed. David quickly shouted to stop. My car has been running for 7 hours straight. It needs maintenance immediately. I took a quick glance. The engine temperature is indeed very high. I just stopped the car. A friend rushed over and gave me a hit. You scared me to death, he shouted. What happened? I only realized my legs were weak when I got out of the car. I had been highly focused for several hours. I felt completely drained. I sat slumped on the steps, smiling wryly. I'm getting a divorce. My friend was stunned for a moment. He didn't respond. Bro, I never had the courage to say it before. But this time, I really couldn't hold it in. Recently, I've been with a not-so-famous girl. She also knows Emily. I heard Emily often says in front of those girls, you're completely dependent on her. She doesn't even consider when your family became wealthy. She was still working as a copier. I thought for a moment. Lily forgot. She couldn't bear the hardships of working. I sold the house I bought with my earnings while in college. I gathered 10 million for her to start a business. I also tapped into the trust fund my parents left me. For this matter, they almost taught me a harsh lesson. It hasn't been long since then. She now thinks of me as her little pet. Unfortunately, I don't want to be a pet. I just want to be a free wolf. This morning, I returned home. I found Emily unexpectedly in the house. David, I specially made breakfast for you. It's your favorite plain noodle. Come eat. I walked over, but she suddenly frowned. She covered her nose and asked me, where did you go last night? She suddenly stood up and said, you clearly know I don't approve of your racing. Why did you still go? Because I like it. I calmly replied to her, if you can't accept it, just sign the divorce agreement. David, what's the point of scaring people like this? She's getting anxious. She keeps pacing back and forth in the restaurant. I've worked hard for our family all these years. You not only don't help, you even go off to race cars. Do you even care about me at all? Even Michael knows how to show concern better than you. She doesn't even want to pretend anymore. Then let's hurry up and get divorced. Make room for your Michael. I'll go to the study and agree to the divorce. I signed and stamped my fingerprint. Then I threw the agreement at her. Before you sign, let's not meet for now. About the divorce, I'll have my lawyer contact you. She mentioned divorce multiple times. Finally, she couldn't hold back her anger. She grabbed the dishes from the table and smashed them all on the floor. The soup splattered everywhere. David, can you afford a lawyer? Do you need me to transfer money to you? She gave me a disdainful glance. You haven't worked for the past few years. I've been supporting you all this time. Leave me alone. You can't accomplish anything. You remembered. I pointed to a line in the divorce agreement. It states that you owe me back the 10 million investment, not a penny less. Since that day, I have been living at my parents' house. Emily called me a few times a couple of days ago, but we haven't been in touch since. I didn't have time to talk much with her. I directly handed over the materials needed for the divorce to the lawyer. My parents are very understanding. They didn't ask me why I was getting a divorce. Think carefully about how you want to move forward. You're only 32. You still have a long way to go. Don't waste your time and energy on the divorce. After saying that, he left the company to me and ran off to travel on his own. Look at me and my dad's assistant. I'll take a look at you. I'll ask, Brother Chun, am I adopted? Assistant Chun held back a laugh and said, it shouldn't be. The year you were born. Mr. Du was so happy that he set off fireworks for 3 days straight. The whole city could see them. I had no choice. I could only bury myself in work at the company. I carefully examined the company's accounts. Only then did I realize that my parents' business is much larger than I thought. I previously thought the economic crisis had caused our family significant losses. Maintaining the current state is already quite difficult. Now I finally understand. My parents invested all their money in the research and development of artificial intelligence robots. This year coincidentally saw technological innovation. They developed several patents. The scale of the company has also made a significant leap. Since I am going to do this, I must do it well. Even if it's just to prove myself to Emily, I need to make her understand that without me, she wouldn't be able to accomplish anything. But losing her, I'll become even stronger. That night, I invited a few industry seniors to dinner. Artificial intelligence is developing rapidly now, but without support from the real industry, no matter how big the company is, it won't last long. Engaging in real industries is always beneficial for national development. I want to open an AI parts processing factory and a chip manufacturing plant in the east of the city. The piece of land I'm interested in just happens to belong to Uncle Paul's company. He watched me grow up since I was little. He knows I have a good eye for this field. Considering the friendship between our families, giving you the land is not a problem. However, if we could further cooperate, I can provide the land, factory, and equipment. You provide the technology. Isn't that better? I immediately agreed. Uncle Paul is willing to give me the opportunity to learn. Of course, I won't refuse. Learning from each other, Uncle Paul said with a smile. You young people have a lot of ideas, and you get things done efficiently, but let's stick to the old ways. We'll sign the contract at the beginning of next month. There's only a few days left anyway. I just realized today is already the 25th. It's been half a month since I last contacted Emily. I found that I haven't thought about her at all. I remembered there are still some things left at her place. I plan to go get them while she's not home. That does seem a bit inappropriate, but it's better than arguing with her face to face. I never expected that she would be home. Not just her. Michael is there too. As soon as Emily saw me, she immediately sneered and said, "So you finally decided to come back. I'm telling you, you need to apologize to me now. Then I might forgive you, as long as you promise never to mention divorce again." I ignored her. I turned around and went into the room to pack my things. Emily followed me inside. I was stuffing a piece of clothing into the suitcase. She took it out. Later, she simply grabbed my hand, not letting me continue packing. "David, let's stop messing around, okay?" "No way." I broke free from her hand. "I don't like relying on others. Can you stop talking?" she said unhappily. "I called you. I also sent you a message on WeChat, but you didn't reply to any of them. Even if I'm wrong, I should at least be allowed to say a few words." I saw Michael hiding behind her. I felt particularly uneasy inside. If I refuse to leave, how will new people get a chance to come in? "David, what you're doing is really too much. You want a divorce, right? Fine." She smashed the apology gift that was supposed to be for me and said to meet at the Civil Affairs Bureau tomorrow. Whoever doesn't go will lose. That night, I saw a post from Michael on my friend circle. In the photo, Emily was cuddling next to him. Her professional outfit had been changed into pajamas. Her nightgown was a bit disheveled from her sleeping position. It has already slid down to the thigh. A shadow faintly appears between the legs. It seems she intentionally let me see this scene. What actors fear the most is having no audience. So I need to comment well on it, to save face. She must show up on time tomorrow, otherwise, you'll be anxious even while sleeping, afraid someone will spill your secrets. I just sent out the comment. The door at home was suddenly slammed open. I groggily came out of the room. I couldn't see clearly who it was, and was met with a face full of saliva from the excited person. "You actually want a divorce? Who do you think you are?" I quickly stepped back. I turned around to grab a disinfectant wipe to clean my face. The person who came was Emily's brother, Eric. At that time, after he knew that his sister married someone with decent financial conditions like me, he started to constantly ask for money. He would come to ask for money at a fixed time every month, and the amount kept increasing. A few days ago, I was getting a divorce with Emily. I didn't transfer him any money. He called me and scolded me for half an hour. "My son is waiting for his formula milk. How could you not give him money? Is there a uncle by marriage like you? Let me tell you, my son is the only heir of the Smith family. You and my sister have been married for so long and still have no children. It must be your problem. This son of mine will take care of you when you grow old. Transfer the money quickly. You're already 2 days late. This time you need to transfer an extra 10,000. I didn't transfer him any money. I forwarded his request for money to Emily. I'm not sure what Emily told him. This time he seems even more arrogant than before. He just plopped down on the sofa with his legs crossed. "I heard you want to divorce my sister. Are you seeing someone else outside? I'm warning you, don't think that the Smith family is no one now. If you dare to abandon my sister, I'm the first one to disagree. Do you still dare to ask my sister for 10 million? Do you think you deserve that 10 million? The money hasn't been received yet. You might lose your life first." This is clearly cursing someone. My expression changed instantly. "Hurry up and leave. If you don't leave, I'll call the police. Don't you fear being talked about? What do I have to be afraid of?" He suddenly kicked over the coffee table. The piercing sound made my ears hurt. I directly opened my phone, showed him Michael's social media posts. "Your sister is sharing a bed with someone else. You still pretend to criticize me. Truly shameless. You're talking nonsense." Eric got anxious. He suddenly stood up from the sofa. "How dare you slander my sister's fidelity? I'm going to sue you for defamation. Do you believe that?" "Humph," I said with a cold laugh. "No need for you to spend money on a lawsuit. I have already given the evidence to the lawyer, This evidence will prove that she cheated during the marriage. Given her current financial situation, if I file for divorce, I can definitely get more money. No way, you don't have a job. I'm entirely dependent on my sister for support. What right do you have to share in the money? He has checked the legal provisions. At most, you'll get what you've contributed to the household. A few tens of thousands a year. That's only because my sister is kind-hearted. Things have come to this point. He still refuses to admit defeat. It seems he doesn't care whether Emily is doing well or not. He's just worried that I'll take the money away. Then he won't get anything at all. But my money is not so easy to take. I directly contacted a reporter in front of him. Do you want to report on Emily's infidelity during the marriage? Of course there is. The other party was so excited that their voice changed. She has always been referred to as the most affectionate female CEO. If negative news comes out, it will definitely be a major hotspot. Give me all the evidence you have. We can negotiate the price. After Eric hung up the phone, his face suddenly turned red. He began to feel scared inside. Someone advised him, "You are a couple. Don't make the relationship too tense. I will tell Emily when I get back. Let her apologize to you." However, Eric firmly replied, "I don't need an apology. I just want a divorce." I only gave him two choices. If she agrees, then it's fine. If she doesn't agree, just wait for the news. The next day, Emily indeed appeared at the Civil Affairs Bureau entrance. I smiled. Divorcing the original spouse while bringing another man. Are you planning to queue up at the marriage registration office later? Emily frowned and said, "Don't talk nonsense. I have nothing to do with him. David, don't go looking for trouble. You haven't even divorced yet and are already making a scene." I curled my lip. I turned to look at Michael. "Speak. You're really disappointing." Any man would be upset to hear that. His face darkened instantly, but when Emily looked over, he immediately put on a pitiful expression. "Emily, I'll wait for you in the car. David might have misunderstood us all along. Maybe I made him feel pressured. I'm sorry. This is the first time I've heard such insincere words. I don't want to deal with people like this for the next few days." I didn't ask him to leave. "You can go together. By the way, find out about the divorce procedures. Consider it familiarizing yourself in advance." "David," Emily pointed at me and said, "Divorce is really great now. From now on, we shouldn't contact each other again. That suits me just fine." I couldn't wish for anything more. From what I know about her and her brother, if they knew the true financial situation of my family, they would definitely cling to me like leeches. There would be no way to escape. Who knew that a voluntary divorce requires a 1-month cooling-off period? Now, I can only hope she doesn't suddenly change her mind during this month. I thought about it and reminded Michael again, "Take good care of my wife. Make sure she follows you wholeheartedly. Promise me, okay?" Everyone in the hall turned to look at us. A buzzing murmur arose around us. "This woman is getting a divorce with her husband while bringing another man. That's just ridiculous. I suddenly feel that your eating sounds are nothing compared to this. Let's not get divorced. Wife, I will never go to bars with friends again. At least I haven't done anything reckless. That's better than that woman, right?" Michael was so embarrassed he wanted to find a hole to hide in. He quickly grabbed Emily and ran away. In the next half-month, I was busy working with Uncle Paul. I didn't have time to deal with Emily's matters, but at a charity dinner, I unexpectedly ran into her. At that time, I was greeting people with my new secretary. Suddenly, someone tapped me on the shoulder from behind. I turned around and saw Emily looking at her with a contemptuous gaze. "How did you get in? Isn't your family already out of business? You're participating in such a money-burning event. Did you sell your house to come here?" A few years ago, my parents withdrew 80% of the working capital to develop chips. As a result, the company's business has been shrinking, from the original 3 office buildings down to just 5 floors now. She feels that this marriage really can't go on any longer. I'm worried that a divorce will cause trouble, so I didn't argue back. I just couldn't help but glance at the man standing next to her. "You dumped Michael, so quickly replaced with a new one. Is the freshness of young guys that short-lived now?" Emily glared at me. "This is the director of the marketing department. She's here tonight to discuss business. Tonight is for business discussions." She gave me a cold glance. "Speak. Uncle Paul from Green Valley is coming today. I must secure that piece of land I have my eye on. Your news is too slow. Uncle Paul is coming over. Go ahead. I plan to develop this land myself." Emily quickly smiled and went up to him. "Uncle Paul, it's a bit of a waste to use this land for a factory. The transportation here is convenient, and it's close to residential areas. There is a lack of large shopping malls around here. If it's developed into a commercial project, it can break even in 3 years. As she spoke, she took out a document from her bag. This is the proposal we created. Uncle Paul, do you have time to take a look? Uncle Paul ignored her. He directly put his arm around my shoulder and left. He spoke as he walked. My daughter just asked why you didn't come. Let's go. I'll take you to meet her and chat. David, do you know Uncle Paul? Emily suddenly grabbed my hand. Can you help me make an introduction? She showed that same expression she had when she used to ask me for help. I wasn't moved by her pitiful eyes like I used to be. I directly pushed her hand away. Don't touch me. It's really uncomfortable. But I still underestimated Emily. She's more open than before now. In less than half an hour, she approached me and Uncle Paul again. I haven't seen Uncle Paul's daughter in a long time. She's much more cheerful than she was as a child. When she smiles, her eyes are crescent-shaped. Are you studying chip development? What do you think of my design? I showed the new code from the R&D department to Sophie. She quickly finished looking at it. She said this won't work if we follow this design, although the accuracy can be improved, but the current chip materials will definitely overheat. After saying that, she immediately took her laptop out from her bag. I held her back. No need to rush. Didn't you just want to know? But she doesn't quite understand. I can't stand it anymore. Tell Uncle Paul, stop teasing David. He's already scared. Sophie smiled and handed me a box. It's for you, a wedding gift. I was about to reach out to take it, but someone else snatched it away. Michael seems to be quite familiar with Sophie. Ask her, Sophie, why didn't you tell me when you went back home? I could have contacted our old classmates to welcome you. Uncle Paul, do you still remember me? Sophie and I were high school classmates. My dad had a great chat with you at the parent-teacher meeting. Sophie pushed him away. The classmate you mentioned, it was you who excluded me with others and falsely accused me of cheating on the exam. Did you like to provoke girls back in high school? Not just provoking, you also dragged girls to the bathroom. Michael didn't expect her to be so direct. His expression suddenly changed for the worse. His smile also looked very unnatural. Sophie, you might be mistaken. Those things were all done by Jack. It has nothing to do with me. Let's not talk about that for now. Uncle Paul, I'm here today representing Sincerity Group. I want to discuss the land issue with you. Could we find a convenient place to talk privately? It's not convenient right now. Uncle Paul called the security over. This person has been reported for sexual harassment, bullied classmates, and attempted rape, even though it was all during high school. But the statute of limitations has not expired. Please call the police immediately. Are you out of your mind? Michael got anxious. I told you it wasn't me. You don't have the right to call the police. And you don't have the right to kick me out. He took out his invitation. I turned to ask the secretary, how did you send out the invitations? You even invited someone like this. The secretary looked displeased. Tell President Du. I really didn't send him an invitation, but his invitation is genuine. I'll check right away. It's possible someone passed the invitation along. This kind of thing happens quite often. Some people don't want to come, and they feel it's inappropriate to decline directly, so they give the invitation to someone else as a favor. It seems Michael knows quite a few people. No wonder Emily likes him. He's good-looking and young, and he knows so many people. Who wouldn't like that? 5 minutes later, the secretary is back. She said to Mr. Du, it was arranged by Mr. Anderson from Skyline. He said a young man wants to come and learn. So they sent a gift. Mr. Anderson just called to apologize. He said it won't happen again in the future. Emily and Michael understood immediately. Things aren't that simple. David, what does this charity gala have to do with you? I had a sip of wine. He said calmly, I organized it. That's absolutely impossible. Where did you get the money? Michael couldn't hold it anymore. This charity gala cost nearly 100 million. You're someone who relies on others for support. How could you possibly have that much money? Sophie was so surprised that she spat out her drink. David, did your aunt and uncle not give you pocket money? Why do you always let others treat you? She can treat you. Why can't I? Am I not good enough? Emily's expression suddenly changed. She looked at me and then looked at Sophie. David, what is your relationship with her? Why does what she says sound so intimate? Her tone was anxious. The way she looked at me was unusual too. Did you two already make arrangements? Were you just waiting to divorce me and be with her? Stop talking nonsense. I interrupted her directly. Mind your own business. It was you and Michael who did something wrong. Don't pin it on me. I haven't done anything to wrong you. Why don't you believe me? Emily explained anxiously. What you saw that time was me getting my hand injured. He was just helping me drink the soup. There was nothing else. She clearly has no idea about the things Michael has been hiding from her. The people who were chatting around us stopped. They perked up their ears to listen to us. I don't want everyone to know that I'm wearing a green hat in front of so many people. After all, this kind of thing isn't very honorable. But Emily still wouldn't let it go. She insisted that I was the one who cheated. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. I pulled up the messages Michael had sent me and confronted her. He helped you change your clothes and even stayed over. This is what you call not cheating. Emily's face instantly turned pale. She suddenly turned around and slapped Michael across the face. She questioned him. When did you take this? She turned to David to explain. I was drunk that night. He helped me change my clothes. But afterwards, I asked him to leave. I have surveillance footage to prove it. Emily, that day it was clearly you. Shut up. Emily raised her hand and slapped him again. Get out. You don't deserve to be here. Leave immediately. I followed up on her words. You leave too. I don't want to see you here. Take your friend with you. Actually, I spent so much time with them just now. I have other plans. I want everyone attending the party tonight to understand. Emily is not reliable. She also has a grudge against me. Wait until tonight is over. Let's see how many people are willing to collaborate with her. Emily still doesn't understand this principle. Her company has developed well over the years. It's because her partners know I support her. Without my help, it would be difficult for her to achieve what she has today. As expected, the next day, many people contacted me. Mr. David, our contract with Emily has just expired. Is there any possibility of collaboration from your side? Mr. David, our product quality is very good, but Emily has been constantly driving the prices down. Before, I kept supplying at low prices just for your sake. Now that you two have separated, we also want to find new partners. My business with Emily has no overlap. These people are actually not very useful to me, but taking away their contracts could completely bankrupt Emily's company. So I spent $50 million. I bought up all those companies' contracts and transferred them to my brother's company. I only charged the cost price. Even though I lost $10 million, seeing Emily's company collapse, I think it was worth it. The marketplace is like a battlefield. Emily soon realized that I was behind it all. She confronted me. David, what good does it do you to ruin me? Don't forget you still owe me $10 million. I scoffed and said, then just wait for the court summons. She has already signed the divorce agreement. Now that she has regret, it gives me a reason to sue her. Emily, your abilities are indeed insufficient. Stop holding on any longer. Quickly downsize the company to preserve the capital. If this continues, she will end up losing everything. Emily completely disagrees. She is trying to win over clients. She has started frequently attending various social dinners, just like when she was first with me, but I was there at that time. I could shield her from drinks. She could wait for the final signature with peace of mind. Now I'm not around. I heard that Michael still can't handle alcohol. It's only been a week. She has been hospitalized twice because of drinking. I was particularly anxious when I found out. I'm not worried about her health, but there are only 3 days left until the divorce is finalized. I'm afraid it will delay things. The day before the divorce, I went to the hospital to see her. When she saw me, her previously lifeless eyes suddenly sparkled. David, are you here to see me? I looked at her in surprise. It hasn't even been 2 weeks. Why has she changed so much? She usually cares a lot about her appearance. She always dresses appropriately, but now, her hair is messily draped behind her head. There's not a bit of makeup on her face. The wrinkles at the corners of her eyes are clearly visible. Her skin is also noticeably sagging. I just want to clarify, will you be able to show up on time for the divorce proceedings tomorrow? She was stunned for a moment. After a long time, she finally asked me, you only want to ask this? I said, yes. There's nothing left for us to talk about now. Emily's eyes turned red. Her voice trembled a bit. David, have I completely lost my chance? My heart tightened suddenly. I stared at you with wide eyes. You're not going to go back on your word, right? I'll make it clear from the start. It's too late to back out now. If I can't see you tomorrow, I'll go directly to the court to file for divorce. David, I know I'm in the wrong. Emily struggled to get out of bed and wanted to hold me. I admit I hesitated, but nothing really happened between me and Michael. The person I truly love in my heart has always been you. Her tears fell like beads from a broken string. Since you stopped working, there are fewer and fewer topics we can talk about. Sometimes I want to talk to you about work, but you only mention what new dish you learned to make today. We just can't connect anymore. I have no choice but to find someone else to talk to. I lowered my head and smiled helplessly at Emily. I intentionally avoid discussing work with you. I just want you to relax after work. Don't always make yourself so tense. I really didn't expect that. My concern for her made her feel unworthy of me. She actually chose someone else like this. This is too hard to accept. She heard this response. Her whole body started to tremble. He said she didn't want to talk to him because she disliked being supported by him. That's why she didn't want to talk to him. I couldn't help but sneer. Emily, you'd rather listen to outsiders than to believe me, since we no longer have trust between us. This marriage doesn't need to continue. Tomorrow, I hope you can come on time. The words she said earlier finally made me let go of the past. The problems in this marriage are not my fault. It's her. It was also her who made me resolute. There's no need for her company to continue operating. The next morning, I waited at the entrance of the Civil Affairs Bureau for it to open. I thought Emily would be late due to yesterday's incident, so I specially brought the company's legal counsel with me. Unexpectedly, she had already arrived, even earlier than me. From processing the paperwork to the end, she hasn't spoken at all. Until I left the Civil Affairs Bureau. Only then did she ask a question. David, these 7 years, have you ever regretted it? I stopped in my tracks. I thought for a moment, no regrets. It's not that I regret being with her, but I feel that regret is completely useless. Instead of regretting, it's better to solve the problem properly. Half a month later, her company completely collapsed. The upstream payments didn't arrive. Debtors from downstream were blocking the company entrance every day. She was asking everyone for help, but it was of no use at all. This is not what I expected. She should still have tens of millions in funds. She should be fine for a week. In a week, 2 companies will settle payments for her. This would appease most of the suppliers' dissatisfaction. She just needs to take the opportunity to downsize the business. Then the company can continue to sustain itself, although the profits won't be as much. Later, I found out, Michael secretly transferred all the money from her personal account. Even the wedding house I bought was sold off. The hole has finally been barely filled, but Emily has completely disappeared from the industry. The next time I heard news about her, it was on the news broadcast. She was avoiding her creditors. By chance, she ran into Michael. She lost control of her emotions. She immediately grabbed a watermelon knife from the fruit store and crazily swung it at him. She struck him 30 times. Each strike was deep. You could almost see the bone. The person on the ground was motionless, like a limp dough. Emily smiled. It's better to be dead. Being dead would be a complete release. The people around her realized she was suicidal, but it was already too late to stop her. Everyone could only watch as she cut towards her neck with the knife. I felt particularly upset inside. Fortunately, we got divorced. It really is frightening.